Many thanks to DayZ Podcast, Pandemonium, Fatal Extraction Vanilla servers, Atlas, Mutated Jurassic Outbreak servers, One Original DayZ servers, Clash Vanilla servers, Sheriff Line, Sauerkraut, Sergeant Pepper's DayZ Invasion server, PGT servers, Waste Sea, Chinese Cream Vanilla servers, and Tequila for making this video possible. The DayZ devs have just finished a live stream showcasing the first new update of 2024, patch 1.24. So in this video we're going to go over everything that they mentioned and talk about the future of DayZ. DayZ 1.24 will be released next week on experimental on PC and Xbox, but the day was not specified. I'm guessing it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday next week, the 16th, 17th or 18th. They said there will be a lot of surprises in 1.24, so I'm guessing things like gathering from bushes now making sounds like they do in 1.24, much like new sound effects were added recently for crafting in DayZ, and also loads of quality of life changes. The exterior and interior gunshot sounds for the SKS have been changed, possibly other weapons too, but redoing all weapon sounds in DayZ is a massive undertaking, so it's unlikely that they've changed all weapon sounds. It's likely that a few weapons have been changed instead, or possibly even just the SKS. They reduced the amount of particles that get shown when you fire a weapon, so the muzzle flash has been reduced to improve frame rate. Apparently it looks the same though, so perhaps they've just simplified how this looks. Bullet impact sounds have been reduced for AI, so AI won't be as attracted to bullet impact sounds. So when your bullet hits a tree, for example, infected won't go running to that tree as often as they used to, making suppressed weapons much better against infected now. Player collision has been removed for smaller objects such as trees laying on the floor or bushes and small rocks, so you're going to pass through these without your player jolting up and down or the camera jolting up and down as you travel over this collision object. The collision for these has been removed. Bullet collision has also changed on these objects, so trees and bushes now have a cone shape around them or a cylinder shape instead of a complex shape like this. It might be much harder to shoot through these giant cylinders because they look quite thick. I'll check it out when I get my hands on 1.24. Bandaging bleeds in 1.24 has changed, making bandaging a continuous action now, so you no longer have to wait for the animation to finish and then start bandaging again. It will continuously do it now, such as crafting bolts. For the crossbow, you can craft multiple bolts in a row now. You can also heal multiple bleeds in a row too, which will make patching up bleeds much faster and makes multiple bleeds much easier to survive. If you have, say, 5 bleeds on you, you might be able to get away with surviving that. Whether this is going to work with rags or the sewing kit is unknown at this time, but my guess is that it will. We will know for certain next week. What is known though is that we're getting a new helmet called the Camoflauge Helmet, coming in multiple variants or colours. I'm not sure if this is going to come in solid colours because it's called a Camoflauge Helmet, which I'm guessing means that we're going to get multiple camo variants, maybe including such variants as a urban camo pattern and a desert camo variant, so we'll just have to see which variants that we're going to get. This helmet offers a very high level of protection to the head, with the description saying it provides a substantial amount of shock protection, so this could be a new best helmet in DayZ for shock protection. However, given that there's no down arrow in the inventory of the helmet, as you can see here, it's highly unlikely that anything attaches to this, such as a light or night vision goggles. We also don't know how rare this helmet's going to be, and a developer said that the protection stats are similar or exactly the same as a high tier helmet. There's going to be a lot of changes to blunt melee weapons in the form of killing infected faster, so the health damage of blunt melee weapons is likely increasing and likely against players too, so this means that blunt weapons could become very powerful. There was also a mention of health damage being in line with shock damage. I don't know exactly what that means, so whether or not this is a new formula for melee damage coming based on one singular stat, I'm not sure, but my guess is that shock damage and health damage of blunt weapons will be much closer together now. In the previous patch, health damage on blunt weapons was a bit low, potentially making blunt weapons much better than sharp weapons now if sharp weapons remain unchanged. Weapon raising in DayZ is a bit of an issue, and it's changing in 1.24 to be much more realistic and much more responsive, with this weapon raising interacting much better during minor movements too, so when your character sways they would sometimes lift their weapon up. That's not going to happen now. This is a great change for longer weapons in tighter environments, but it also applied to shorter weapons too, so whether or not we'll be able to use pistols in any environment without our weapon raising is a question that I'm going to answer next week. A new firearm is coming with 1.24, what looks like to be a baby AS-Val, speculated to be the SR-3M. What it's going to be called we don't know because they were held up and killed before we could inspect the weapon, which was hinted to fire 9x39 and the 9x39 armor piercing rounds, so this weapon will likely be extremely powerful along with allowing Russian optics too. Like with how we got the 20 round mag with the AS Val when that was released, we might be getting a 30 round mag, 9x39 mag, coming with this patch. We don't know for sure, we didn't see it during the stream, but it was on the stream announcement as you can see here. And finally, for smaller changes, we can now find weapons that are chambered on the floor. So previously you couldn't find weapons that were chambered on the floor that spawned in. So all weapons can spawn on the ground with a round inside them or a round inside the barrel. So this means that we don't know if a player dropped it or not. You can also now double click to move items to your inventory from items that you're holding with cargo. So when you have an item in your hand and you have cargo inside that item, you can double click to move it to your inventory. The 2024 roadmap will come early February, as they said on stream, likely giving us more details on what this snowflake or ash means, as no hints for what it actually means were mentioned during the stream. A lot of people were spamming in chat, what does this mean? What does this teaser mean? There were no answers given. They saw the questions, no answers were given, but I do have a video releasing very soon on this topic, going over my theory on what this teaser actually means for the future of DayZ. Very exciting times ahead. Now, even though 1.24 is a minor update, otherwise known as a stability update, I believe there's a decent amount of stuff in this patch to keep us busy until we get more info. So let the devs know your take on 1.24 so far below. We should be getting more details next week when the experimental gets released. I'll test everything like I usually do, which will come with an article this time detailing what 1.24 is all about during the experimental release. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.